Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently 3:34 a.m. and I am exhausted. My allergies are at an all-time high. And so I was like, why not come and vlog? I tried to go to sleep tonight and sleep through the night, but I just couldn't. The air in our house, for some reason, I don't know why, it has been great. The last couple summers. Today it was 91 in Indianapolis, and I'm really surprised Alex is being able to sleep so easily. It is like not rising to the second floor. We have all the vents open, the doors and stuff, and it is like just our bedroom is not cool. And I have the fan, of course, right on me because I always sleep with the fan right on me. But then on top of that, I don't know if you can see, but I went to the pool today and I got a little burnt. And so I went to sleep probably about midnight, and no, it was earlier than that, probably about 11:30 probably, and I fell asleep for about 45 minutes, and I woke up, and I literally just like tossed and turned and tossed and turned and tossed and turned. So fine. Oh, and I bit the inside of my mouth I think last night. I don't know why I keep on doing that. I think maybe like my bite is off or something. I was supposed to have a dentist appointment this week, but I moved it until like the second week of July. So I need to ask about that when I go in there. I'm wondering if that's why I keep on biting my mouth, side of my mouth. But now, I'm just like real sore in there. I'm just falling apart. I'm just falling apart tonight. No, but like I woke up and I just tossed and turned. I could not get comfortable. And I was like talking to Boo Radley, and it just was hot. It just was so hot in our bedroom. And you know, like when you're burnt and it's like you're radiating heat, like I just felt like I was radiating heat, you know? And I'm not even like burnt all over. I'm just like burnt on like my face and like my shoulder, because we were like, Tanya and I were just like in the pool. I went to the pool with Tanya and our friends that are visiting from out of town. And so we were just like bouncing in the pool, you know, bouncing in the pool. And it was rather cloudy out. And so I thought, it's not gonna, I went out there for like 45 minutes. And then I had a recovery commitment that I had to go to. And so I just like, and it was real close. So I went and did that, and then I came back. So I got back to the pool at about 3 o'clock, 3:15, and it was cloudy out. Like it almost even kind of looked like it was gonna rain. And then our friend that was visiting she was having people over, because this was her last night in town. So she was having people over to Tanya's tonight. So she and her girlfriend left to go and get a bunch of food and stuff. So Tanya and I stayed at the pool, and from like 4 to like, we stayed there till like 5. That last hour is like when the sky opened and it was completely sunny. I know that you can get a lot of sun through clouds, and maybe that's what it was. But I just like, I don't know, I'm just like, it's like my face mostly is like just burning up. So anyway, because I told Alex, I said, I really, when I got home, well, I'll tell you about that in a second, but I said, I really want to go vlog right now and listen to my audiobook. Like, I mean, I thought I would have this audiobook done like 3 days ago, this Malibu Rising, and I just haven't had really any time to, I've had time, but I haven't been listening to it because I've been going to bed, you know, real early. But I was so tired when I got home. I was like, there's no way. So I got up this morning at like 8 o'clock in the morning, which you guys know because I vlogged yesterday's vlog in the morning. And then I came home because I had talked to Tanya, and she was like, are you gonna come to the pool? And I said, yeah. I said, but I want to make a couple videos. So I came home after I got done vlogging, and I have my Diet Coke I forgot about. I need to buy some more Diet Coke. This is my last one. So I filmed a drama video, and then I filmed a Peterisms video, and was getting that with the vlog up. And I was gonna do a review video too, but by that point it was like, Tanya went to the pool at like 11, and I told her I would be up there by, in like I think it was like 11:30, and I said I'd be up there in an hour. I didn't actually get up there. I went to Starbucks first, and I wanted, what time did I get up there? Like 10 after 1, something like that, 1 o'clock. After I got all my stuff together with my bag and everything. And then I wanted something else to take to the pool to drink, but I didn't necessarily want a coffee because I was like, okay, that's gonna be like way too much caffeine. But I'd already drank my coffee from that morning, so I got a Starfruit refresher. It was good. I mean, I've had it before, obviously, because I do all the Starbucks drinks, but it tastes like sour apple. It was nice to have that next to the pool. Ooh. So, this thing tonight that was at Tanya's house, I thought, like, I hadn't really seen our friend since she came into town, and I knew I was gonna see her probably today. She's been trying to see, like, a ton of people. So, I thought this thing tonight was just like her family, like different family members that were coming. And Alex already had dinner plans with Sarah tonight. And so my friend was like, well, you're coming tonight, right? And I was like, well, I didn't. I thought it was just family. And she was like, well, even if it was, that would be you, because we've been friends for so long. And then she was like, but no, it's like all kinds of people. And so I was like, okay. So after we left the pool, Tanya and I left about 5 o'clock. I came home. Alex and I hung out for about a half an hour and just kind of like talked about our day and stuff. And then he was getting ready to go to dinner, and I was going to take a shower to go over there. I was so tired. I was like, if I take a shower and I get out of the shower, like, I am gonna fall asleep. And so I was already like so chlorinated and everything. I just like put on, I have what I had on. I just wore jean shorts and this black t-shirt, and I wore this black watch that I have that I got from All Saints, which I actually am getting a lot more wear out of than I thought I would. I bought it a couple months ago. I've always wanted like an all black, like matte watch, and I got it from All Saints. Some of their stuff I really like, and other stuff I don't. I bought a pair of shoes from there, and I'm not really very happy with them. But anyway, so I went over there, and we were all supposed to bring something, so I stopped at Kroger on the way, and I got some hummus and pita bread, and those pita bread things I like, and chips. And it was good. It was fun. It was great. I had a great time. And my old sponsor was there. I said somebody's name, but anyway, my old sponsor was there. So it was really nice because I got to hang out and talk to him for like ever. It felt like we talked for like an hour. And then the daughters of another friend of ours were there. And like they grew up like around all of us. And I remember when they were like really, really little, and they were staying over at Tanya's house one night. because their parents were having like a sleepover, or their parents were having like a date, and so they were sleeping over at Tanya's house, and Tanya was getting all this like popcorn ready and these movies and stuff. And I remember they were telling me, they're like, you recorded it on something, and I said I did, and they're like, yeah, it was like an ornament or something, and they said it was Christmas time. And I remember what was said, but I don't remember like it being like recorded. And it was so funny because I hadn't seen them in forever, and they're like, we brought our jammies. And because this is when they were probably like literally like 6 and 8, and I came over there and I had like brought candy and stuff because I knew they were having like this like sleepover. My ex and I went over there, and I was like, are you girls having a sleepover with Aunt Tanya? And the youngest one, who at the time would have been like 6, just to put this in perspective, she's now 19 and a freshman in college. And she was like, she goes, Uncle Peter, of course we're having a sleepover. You have to have your jammies if you're gonna have a sleepover. And so when I walked, and I hadn't seen them. It had been like, I mean, it's probably been 5 years since I've seen them. And so I walked in like through the back patio, and everybody was sitting out there. And you know, like when you walk in somewhere like that, I'm not real great with that kind of stuff anyway, like walking into like a lot of people that I don't know. And it was a lot of my friends' family that I don't know. And so it's just kind of overwhelming for me. And so I'm trying to be like, you know, hey, you know, whatever. And so they were sitting right by the door on this like couch love seat that Tanya has. And they were like, hey, Peter. And I was like, hi. And I didn't really like, through the corner of my eye, I just saw that there were like 2 young girls sitting there, you know. I didn't really recognize them. And I like looked down, and the younger one goes, we brought our jammies. And I mean, like, I literally, like, I lost it. Like, I just lost it. Thank God I have my sunglasses on. Their mom is one of our friends that we don't see anymore, because she's chosen that sobriety isn't for her. It was just really hard. There was a time that this group, well, Tanya, my sponsor, and our friend, and their mom, like the 4 of us, like we hung out, we were so tight. Two times in my life, I have been taught the lesson that, yes, it is fantastic that we have a family of origin that we're born into, right? But we also have a family of choice. And I think sometimes your family of choice, this has been, I will just tell you, been a really emotional evening for me. It was just really tough. Like, it was tough because it was so nice to see some of these people I hadn't seen in a long time, you know, like we haven't all been together as a group. Oh, I forgot, there was another one of us that was there too, she, like, and her wife. They left pretty early on though. That was kind of part of our group back in the day. Well, she was part of our group back in the day. But, like, I'm not really crying so much out of, like, sadness as I am just, like, do you ever just feel overcome with, like, emotion? Just, like, I mean, I have just been really blessed in my life to just have some amazing people in my life, you know? And I think that to many of us, our family of choice is sometimes more important than our family of origin, to some extent. And, you know, when I came out, that was really taught to me because so many people that I knew, you know, their families had just completely disowned them. And so it's really weird this year. Like, on a side note, like, I don't know what it is this year. I have no idea what it is. But, like, I'm really feeling, like, the importance of, like, pride as a gay man more than I have ever felt, I think, before. I mean, I'm not going to anything. I'm not doing it. I'm not participating really in anything. But just as a feeling of pride, I feel it more this year. And I'm really not sure what it is. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's talking just on here about stuff, you know? But, you know, when I came out, I had so many friends of mine, like I was saying, that were disowned, and their families wanted nothing to do with them. And so even though I had my mom and my dad and my stepmom and my aunt and uncle and everybody, I had my family, right? Like, these people didn't. These friends of mine did not have their families. And so it wasn't just like we called each other family. Like, we were really family to each other. Like, literally, you know? And, like, my roommate, who lives in Berlin now, she came to all of my family's holidays. She came to my Thanksgiving. She came to all of it. She would go home for Christmas, but other than Christmas, she came to Easter. She came to all the birthdays. She came to everything. And, this car is, like, backing up into me. I mean, and she wasn't disowned by her family. Almost, but, I mean, not for that reason, because she was straight, but I think that her, like, kind of partying behavior, her family had had quite a bit of by that point. But yeah, like, my friends all had, like, Friendsgivings and things like that, because, like, a lot of my friends, like, they didn't have relationships with their families, like, at all. They didn't go home and see them. They didn't talk to them. And, that was the first time. And then the second time, you know, was when I got sober. And the bonds you build with people in sobriety are like none other. They really, really are, if you allow them to happen, you know? And the reason I say that is because in my first year or two of sobriety, you know, I had my friend that I got sober with that she called me in treatment on New Year's Eve, and she had been drinking, and her sobriety birthday is New Year's Day. And I had some other people that I still know from, like, that year, first year or two or whatever. But really, it wasn't until I met Tanya and this group of friends, or Tanya, and then Tanya introduced me to this group of friends, that I really felt like I had strong relationships in sobriety. And I really had to, you know, kind of show up and be willing to be a friend and be open to that, because I was so incredibly shy and had so much social anxiety, you know. But I think one of the things is that, like, you know, in sobriety, I mean, how we talk about such serious issues and topics, you know, in meetings, and then it's like, this is one of Alex's, like, this was one of his observations that, about people in recovery. He was like, it's so funny, he's like, you know, you'll meet somebody, he's like, I'll meet somebody, and we'll exchange phone numbers, and I'll, like, text him or call him about, like, you know, like, hey, do you want to come to this thing, or blah, 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 whatever. But he's like, that's kind of the extent of our conversation. He's like, you guys, like, exchange phone numbers and are talking that night, and you're talking about, like, and you've known this person for, like, an hour, and you're talking about, like, childhood trauma that you shared, you know, like, but it's true. It's, like, so true, you know. I mean, we do, and we go real deep real quick. And I think it's because there's the trust factor of, this thing keeps on sliding, doesn't it? I think there's the trust factor of, this person has lived it, this person knows what I have gone through, this person, you know, it's the sinking ship theory that when you've, like, you know, gone down in a sinking ship kind of together, that, well, this person understands what I've been through, this person knows, you know, what it's like, on and on and on. And so I think that, that's not to say that you can't build a relationship like that if you're not sober. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think it happens quicker in sobriety, you know? I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've, like, met somebody, and then, like, we'll be standing out in the parking lot talking after the meeting, and then they'll share something, like, real serious, you know? And then, like, and I'm like, oh my God, me too. And then somebody else is like, oh my God, me too. And then we're all sitting there, like, sharing these, like, real deep things about each other, you know, in a parking lot of a church after a meeting that we just met an hour ago. So there is a lot of truth to that, you know. But these families of choice that we build between each other, you know, are super powerful. And really like none other. And we were a family, you know, for a very long time. And not just us, but, like, our people as well, you know, like my boyfriend and, well, Alex even, because Alex came into, like, the tail end of that group. I think he came on, we used to go to Lake Norris, Tennessee every summer and get a cabin. And there was Tanya and her husband, me, and then Alex came the last time, our friend that's visiting, and whoever she was dating. She's always in a long-term relationship. And then my old sponsor that was there tonight. And then the mother of those girls that were there tonight. And then our other friend. God, that was really kind of our group tonight there. And then there was another guy. And that was friends with my sponsor. I was asking him tonight about him. And that was another thing, like his daughter, this other guy that he was talking about. Like, I hadn't seen him in years. And the last time I saw him, Tanya had some New Year's get-together, and his daughter was singing, not my sponsor, it was this friend of his that he would bring to meetings. My sponsor, so we live on the north side of Indianapolis, he lived on the south side of Indianapolis, so he would travel to the north side for our home group meeting, and then he stopped coming to the north side because it was too long of a ride for him. But anyway, he would bring this guy from the south side that we were all friends with too. And the last time I saw his daughter, I mean, and I was like, that can't be. And then I was like doing the math in my head, and I'm like, yeah, probably. She was like 5 or 6. And he said she had just graduated from high school. And I was like, what? Like, really? Like, that's crazy. Life goes on, you know? So yeah, there was a bunch of us, and we would get a cabin in Lake Norris, Tennessee, a really nice cabin, and then we would all go down there. And then my sponsor, well, he had a boat, and he would take a boat down there. We would all go out on the boat and stuff. And I remember this one time, there are these cliffs that everybody jumps from, but the cliff is literally like only like 10 feet. I don't like to get into water that I can't see underneath in, because, you know, I have a fear of sharks, and I know people are like, there's no sharks in lakes. Yes, I'm fully aware of that. It's not really about that. It's about what I can't see that is in that water. And so I just don't like to, even fish, I don't like to swim in water that I can't see underneath it. But for some reason that summer, when Alex was there, I can just remember the first night everybody ran down It was like this long staircase, and we all ran down to the deck when we got there, because we all got there at like 5 in the afternoon, and everybody just ran in and jumped in their clothes. It was real fun. And I did it too. And I wasn't scared that year. It was real weird. I got into the water a lot. We just hung out at the dock a lot, and it was pretty. You know, it's very pretty in Lake Norris, Tennessee. But there were these cliffs. Everybody was going off of them, and I wanted to go off of them. And I don't have a huge fear of heights, but like if I get into my head too much, it's not great for me. You know what I mean? So, I mean, honest to God, these cliffs were literally like, because I can remember when we like pulled up the boat. I mean, maybe they were 15 feet high. I don't know, 10 or 15 feet high. They weren't high, okay? I mean, it wasn't like they were 100 feet high or anything. It was no cliffs like that. And so, what is going on here? Do I need to go back the other way? They're cordoning off the street. Is there like a parade tomorrow or something? Oh. The police decided to come out at 4 o'clock in the morning to cordon off the street in Zionsville. Interesting. I love the street. I think it's so cute. We met somebody the other day that lives like 1 block from here. I was like, you live in Zionsville and you like walk to the other, yeah, we walk to the city or we walk to Main Street all the time. I'm like, oh my God. Not to mention that these houses like right off of here that are like, they look kind of small. Well, they really aren't. If you really look at how big they are, they're like a city block. But they're like $1.5 million for like the smallest one. I mean, these houses, I don't know if you guys can see these. Do you see them? I mean, look at this house. They're adorable. They're absolutely adorable. I don't know how well they're showing up on camera as far as how cute they are, but they all have like front porch swings, and they have real cute decorations on them and stuff. Here, I'll show you this one up here. It's got really cute decorations on it. This is like on Main Street. See, this is like this Georgian deal right here. Where's the one that I really like? Is this it? This one's cute right here. This one, look at this, how cute they have it decorated. And these are not brand new houses. Like, they redid all these. But, what was I saying? I don't even remember. Oh, the cliff. So, I should have shown you that house. That one was really cute. So, we go to this cliff, and I'm like, everybody's going off of it, right? And I'm like, well, I want to go. And Alex was like, well, go off the cliff. And I'm like, but I'm scared. And he's just like laughing. And they're like, do you want to go? And I'm like, yeah. And so they're like, okay. So I get off into the water. I climb up the bank, right? At that point, it's like muddy and dirty. And you had to like go up and like into the, you know, woodsy area and then come back up to the cliff this way. I get to the edge of that cliff. I don't know if this has ever happened to you before, but like I get to the top of that cliff and it all of a sudden doesn't look like 10 or 15 feet. It looks like 300 feet. And I was like I wanted to do it, but I was like terrified. And I kept on like inching forward towards like the edge of the cliff. But I was like, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it. Finally, my sponsor was like, could you jump or just come down? Either way, we need to go. Guess which one I did? I backed down. I was like, I'm not jumping off this cliff. I'm not stupid. I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna hurt myself for the rest of the day. I was like, forget it. Some of the yard work here that these people have done is just fantastic. Topiaries and, oh, I need to go the back way because they closed off. They just closed off that street. What is this right here? Is it a business or a house? You can hardly tell. So yeah, so they had a bunch of food, vegan hot dogs. I had a vegan hot dog tonight. Oh my God. That was like the highlight of my week, was that vegan hot dog. Our friend that was visiting, she's like a hardcore vegetarian, so she had a bunch of stuff that was vegetarian. Her girlfriend made this like great salad, and then somebody made like these corn cake kind of things. It's supposed to be like cornbread, but it really wasn't like cornbread. And what else was there? Chocolate chip cookies. I took a Dr. Pepper over there with me from the gas station. And I just remember that somebody like sent me a picture on Twitter. I think they tweeted it to me, and it was like they had gotten like a Dr. Pepper fountain pop, and they were like, I had said something in my vlog that night or something, and they were like, Peter inspired me to get a Dr. Pepper tonight. And I was like, oh my God. But that's how I work with things too. When people talk about stuff, I'm like, somebody will say, oh, I had a Dr. Pepper. I'm like, oh, I want a Dr. Pepper. So we sat around. There were a lot of people at first, and then like most of the people left, and then at the end it was just my friend and her girlfriend went upstairs to get ready for bed because they were leaving tomorrow, and Tanya, Eric was inside. Tanya's son left. Tanya's son came over too, and because of course like he grew up around all of us. And that was it. And then my friend was like, she was like, can we go get a fountain pop just like old days? So the three of us went and got a fountain pop. I am all, you know, for change. I used to be so resistant to change and stuff. But like this would be a really good example of what I was talking about in my Peter Does Stuff video, if you watched it, where I talked about happy things make me sad. It's like, tonight was like such a fantastic evening. It was such a happy night. But I think that what makes me sad about it is like, I don't see these people regularly anymore. And it's not because like, I mean, it's not because like, I mean, I just don't. Like, you know, my sponsor is older and he doesn't really go do a whole lot. My friend lives out of state. You know, it's just like, I don't see these people. Tanya and I never see these people, you know? And, so anyway, it was really nice. It was a fun evening. I felt emotionally drained when I came home. Do you ever feel like that, you know? Like in a positive way. It was just a bunch of telling stories, you know, and then Tanya's always like, Peter, tell the story, Peter, tell the story, Peter, tell the story. So it was a lot of me telling all these stories of us from back in the day and stuff that between Tanya and I now that people don't know because they're not around anymore. Tanya'd be like, tell this story, Peter, it's so funny, tell this story. It was fun. I was thinking, like, today I was like, I went to the pool and I had like a barbecue all like in the first, what is this, week and a half of summer, like all in the same day. Like, I'm very proud of myself. Because I usually get to like the end of the summer and then I'm like, I didn't do any summery things this year and I wish I had done this and I wish I had done that, and then I'm always like beating myself up. Where am I at on time since I'm stopped here? And I always like beat myself up and I'm like, I didn't do any of these things I wanted to do for summer. And I'm glad I went to the pool today. It's supposed to be really, really nice the next 3 days. Alex, to do some work stuff in the morning, and then in the afternoon, he's doing this thing with a friend of his. And, so I'm gonna do some stuff around the house. We are maybe gonna go to brunch early on Sunday, and then go to the pool. Sunday it's supposed to be like 90 and like not a cloud in the sky. And Monday it's supposed to be that too. Monday I probably will Monday I will probably most definitely have a pool day. I was really surprised by the pool today because I went to the pool where I got the membership, and I really expected it to be really busy, which it was busier than it was last summer. And when I pulled into the parking lot, I was like, it's gonna be impossible to like sit anywhere here. It wasn't crowded at all at the pool. I was really surprised. And I think because the pool is big enough that there are so many places to sit. But like, we were spread out. There really wasn't anybody real close to us. Yeah, it was nice. But Tanya said on Friday, she was like, on Saturdays and Sundays, it's super packed. So I was like, well, on Saturdays and Sundays, and I'll just go to our pool in our neighborhood. And I don't know, Monday, we'll just have to see what I do. Tanya said she might be able to go in the afternoon on Monday, and then we're gonna get our feet done sometime next week. I go to the meeting. Oh my gosh. Oh, and then Alex and Melissa's husband, Jason, are going downtown tomorrow night to hear some DJ for like an hour or something. Alex said he's going to ride down there with him, because Melissa and I were talking about how we might get together and watch a Lifetime movie. That always sounds like fun, but then on Saturday nights when I'm like supposed to do something like that, I would rather just honestly like stay in and just relax and sleep, or just watch a TV show by myself and stuff. But we might watch a movie. The thing is, whenever Melissa and I get together to watch Lifetime movies, we always end up watching like the same ones, which is fine, but it's like funny because we just like, we quote all the lines and stuff like that because we know like all the lines. From like Death of a Cheerleader and Mother May I Walk with Danger. Oh, you know, what we haven't watched is, well, I haven't watched them, I think Melissa has, are the V.C. Andrews movies that I was talking about on here the other day. We could watch those. God, that would be kind of fun. Talk about a marathon, though. I think this is the worst year of allergies for me in a long time. Like, my allergies are just, like, really, really beating me up this year. It's crystal clear outside right now. I cannot believe there's not like a cloud in the sky. But you know, isn't that how the day always starts? Like there's no clouds, and then, you know, within just a little bit of time, there's like some clouds out, and it's like, looks like it's gonna, like today, like when I woke up, I was like, I think if you go back and watch the vlog, well, I don't know, I should probably do that before I say anything. But I think I was like, there's not very many clouds out. And then I got home and I was filming the videos, and it was like, all of a sudden I looked outside and I was like, is it getting gray outside? And sure enough, there were clouds all over the sky. So just because the day starts off completely sunny does not mean that it's gonna be like that forever and ever. I love ya, tomorrow, you're always a day away. Listen to my voice crack tonight, oh my gosh. No Broadway star here. It stopped. So, I'm loving Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think it's just really getting good right now. Tanya's like, I cannot believe you haven't finished that book yet. She's like, I was like tore right through that book. I mean, it is that good that I could literally have listened to it in like a day or two. It is really that good. I just haven't had the time where I'm like in the car just like driving around listening to it, you know? And I'm about 3 hours in. I don't want to talk a lot about it because the thing is, It's a hard book to talk about without giving a lot away. Okay, it's about these 4 siblings, and it all centers around this party that's like this it's like a world famous party. Well, they're famous kids anyway because of who their parents are. So, but they're like real humble. They're not like, and they're also, a couple of them, famous in their own right for certain things. But they're all like less than 25, I think. Like the oldest one, I think, is 25, they said, the girl. And it's her party. So the whole thing is about this party that she's having in the evening that she doesn't want to have because she just went through a breakup, a very public breakup. So then it starts at 7 a.m., okay? And it's all told in real time. So you're like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 p.m. But the whole time that it's telling the story, it flashes back and it goes to when their parents met. And then that story comes up to today. And it's going to be very much like the sins of the father kind of deal. Or, you know, that, like, what happened with the mother and father is somehow impacting who they are as siblings today. I can already tell that that's what it's going to be about. And something happens at this party. And you can tell it. There's tensions rising. There's, oh, Malibu Rising. There's tensions rising. It just is a very tense book. But, like, super enjoyable to read as far as the story. It's very detailed. Taylor Jenkins Reid writes characters like nobody's business. I mean, you really feel like you know these characters. Like I was telling Tanya this about the main character, Nina Riva, who reminds me of, like, Lucky Santangelo by Jackie Collins. But then the brothers are, like, very different, but very similar in some ways. And then there's a younger sister. And you don't know what's going to happen. Like, you don't know if somebody's going to die. You don't know if somebody's going to fight. You don't have no idea what's going to happen at this party. But they keep on saying things that you know something's going to happen at this party, right? And, like, I think they even said, like, at one point, like, with the brother, his name's Jay. Like, Jay had no idea that he was only hours before, like, something would happen. Anyway, I don't know, but, like, you're very aware that something's going to happen at this party, but you don't know when and you don't know what. All I know is that Tanya told me it was, like, absolutely incredible. She's like, you have no idea, like, when you read this book. She was like, what happens? So, yeah, it's really good. And then I think after that I'm going to listen to The Homecoming, maybe. We'll see. I should probably listen to the true crime book for this month. Oh, you know what? Our true crime live stream is going to be like the 12th of July or something. I don't know. It's that Sunday around then. Because 4th of July, it's like that weekend, the first weekend, and so we postponed it to the second weekend of July. So I have a long time to read that book. I was going to say I should read the true crime book and be ahead of it, but part of the problem is that when I read the book ahead of time, there is just like so much going on. That hospital is like, entrance is cut off, there's a police car sitting there. There's non-stop, you guys, I don't know if you can see this, but there's like literally like non-stop construction here. This has been the entire time, you guys. Like, I don't know how much you can see, but it's just constant. And then Peter's Book Club, Mexican Gothic. I don't know when I'm going to read that yet. I want to give it some attention. Okay, we're out of the construction zone now. I don't know if this is just in Indianapolis or if this is everywhere, but like, or just in the Midwest, but in the Midwest in the summer, there's lots of construction. And part of it is because of the colder weather, you know, in the winter, so they always do a lot of construction in the summer. But, it is so bad, and it's like everywhere. And even when they're not doing construction, I don't know if you can see, but they have like these cones set out. So they're always like cordoning off like work that they're gonna do. So like half the road is closed off, and then they're not even working on it for like 2 weeks. But it's one lane closures and things like that. That's like Indiana. Like the entire summer. My dad used to pave roads when he was in college. Whenever I would complain about something when I was growing up, my dad would say, until you stand behind an asphalt truck in 100-degree weather in Indiana in August, paving the asphalt, I don't really want to hear about it. That's what he would say to me. That's what my dad did. My dad, he was a waiter at the DG House in Bloomington, at Indiana University. And he paved roads in the summer, and that's how he paid for college. Whenever I pull up next to these like big trailers like this, here, I'll show you. I'm always like, is it a country music star? Is Shania Twain in there? Is it Reba McEntire? It's like one of those big, like, you know, trailers back in the day that, like, I'm sure they don't, any of them travel like that anymore, do they? They all just fly in and fly out. But back in the day, they did, right? You remember that? When, what's that movie, Coal Miner's Daughter, when Loretta Lynn's in the back of that truck and she's pulling that tape out and they're all like banging on the truck, Loretti, Loretti, Loretti. She's like losing her mind. She goes out there and stuff, she's like, somebody pulled my hair. Then she just starts talking to the crowd. And she's like, Dee said I shouldn't tell y'all what's going on with me, but you're my people and I know you love me, so I'm going to tell you what's going on. I love that scene when she's out there in the field and she writes that song. She looks at her little girl and she goes, your mama done write a song. She wrote a pretty good dang song. She would never have cussed. Loretta Lynn would never have cussed. Being around some of these old friends of mine today, who I forgot how much they cuss. Oh my God, you guys. I was cussing up a storm today. And I don't really do that anymore. And I really recognized it. Like at one point, I was like, we were in the pool and I said something and I was like, I don't even know what I said. I mean, it wasn't like, it wasn't like in a negative way. You know what I mean? I just was like describing something like, can you hand me the effing towel kind of deal. I mean, but that's how I talked back in the day. My God, no wonder my mother, she would always be like, you cuss so much because you hang out. She was like with all those old guys in the recovery rooms of recovery. And I'd be like, oh yeah, Mom, that's why. But I really do think that maybe is partly why. And so today I was like, I noticed like within like a half an hour, I just was like cussing so bad. And I was like, oh my God, what is going on? I gotta watch it. Isn't that so funny? I need to make here are the things I need to do. I need to make a picture of lemonade to have in the fridge because I've been just like craving having lemonade. And I bought all this Crystal Light and I haven't made any lemonade. I need to buy another case of Diet Coke. I do not need to buy any more LaCroix. I have a bunch of LaCroix in the refrigerator. What else? Oh, I also want to buy a little cooler to take to the pool for like 2 cans of Coke. Do they have that? Or I guess I could just put one in each of these things and it would keep it cold. That would probably be real smart, wouldn't it? Just put it in my bag. That's probably a good idea. But usually I go and I get a coffee on my way to the pool. So then that's kind of like my drink while I'm sitting there. I just have to sit and talk to people. Oh my Lord. Oh. Tanya and I were talking about, like, today, like I said, it's so weird that this is my first day, like, at the pool. And she was like, I know. And I said, I feel like that first time that I go, like a couple years ago, I didn't go at all. I went like 3 times in the entire summer, and I was so mad at myself. And so last year, I like really pushed myself to go, but I actually think the pool didn't open until later last year, because I feel like it opened late because of COVID, but I could be wrong. So last year, you guys know, I went a lot, because I've talked a lot about that. And there's just something about the pool. Like, it's so funny when people are like, oh, Peter, I get such a kick out of you getting so excited about the pool. It's just like, for me, like, it's so relaxing, and I'm so, like, I don't think people probably have really, just from based on the vlog and other stuff, really get any idea of, like, how, like, organized, detailed, and, like, I have to get all, these are the things I want to get done today. I mean, I'm a list follower. And so, for me to just, like, get half of my list done and then go to the pool and just allow myself to relax is really so healthy for me. Like, I mean, it's really, when we talk about taking care of ourselves emotionally and mentally, like, that, it is that for me. To just sit there and just be like, there's no rush, you're not going anywhere, you just enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Like, that is so good for me. And the pool is the way that I enjoy it, you know, by, like, talking to people or just sitting there. Or I can just, to be honest with you, like, I can find total enjoyment just floating and swimming and diving on my own. Like, I just love to be in the water. I always have. And, so, yeah. And there's something very peaceful and serene about it to me, and just cathartic. Today was perfect because I got up early, and then I got a bunch of stuff done in the morning that I wanted to get done. And so then when I went, I didn't feel guilty about not doing the stuff that I wanted to do, because I had already done the things I wanted to get done, you know? So that was nice. I mean, I could do that every day. I just, like, here's the one thing, is I really want to enjoy this summer. I don't want for it to be August tomorrow, and then I'm like, well, I can't believe the summer's over, you know, and I didn't do anything. I'm not letting that happen this year. Nope, 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 nope. And last year I didn't do that. Last year I fully enjoyed my whole summer. I think I'm going to start watching that show, Cruel Summer. I keep on seeing ads and come up about it, and people talk, well, I saw an ad, and then people talk about it, and I'm like, is it out of focus? Come on. And I feel like maybe that's a sign that I'm supposed to watch that show. Come on, focus. I'm gonna have to stop it and start it again. When it gets out of focus, I just have to stop it and start it, because it's just like, no fixing at that point. The battery is at the halfway mark anyway, so I feel like I've been like vlogging for like almost an hour. I can't remember, maybe like 5-6 minutes less than an hour. But I want to read a lot this summer, and I want to watch a lot of TV shows, and I want to hang out with my husband a lot, and I want to hang out with you guys a lot, and vlog, and make videos, and I want to go to the pool a lot, and yeah. So, it's going to be a great summer, and it's just getting started. And it's just getting started. And tonight was a great night. Tonight was a great summer barbecue. It just felt so summery, like going to the pool all day long and then coming home and like throwing on some cologne and deodorant and like a pair of like cut off jean shorts and a t-shirt, you know, and sandals. Like, it just felt so, I don't know how, do you know what I mean? Like, that was like back in the day how it was. Like, you know, you're like at the pool all day long and you're like, you smell like chlorine, which I love that smell, by the way, when you smell like chlorine. But you like smell like chlorine and your hair's like super clean, you know? And I just put some of this like stuff in my hair. I laid down on the bed for just a little bit, talking to Alex, and I put some stuff in my hair and sprayed some cologne on and deodorant, and I was like, let's go, you know? But it was so nice. It was like, it was funny. It was kind of like reminded me of this Malibu Rising when they're like surfing and then they just like throw on clothes and go into town to this restaurant. Well, they own a restaurant too. I forgot about that. But that's kind of like a side note to the whole story, I think. It might be a bigger deal than I know, and I don't know yet, but anyway, it was a perfect summer day. Perfect summer day. Filled with fun and sun and getting to see old friends and tell old stories. It was really nice. So anyway, well, I think I'm going to get off here now, you guys, and listen to a little bit of my audiobook before I go to bed, so that I can try to get up at a somewhat decent hour tomorrow. Maybe catch some rays at the pool, depending on how busy it is. So I'm going to get off here now. I hope that you guys are having an amazing Saturday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And be kind to one another. Like I also always say, practice random acts of kindness. But also, like I always say, don't tell anyone. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. It's the nice thing to do. And most importantly, let somebody know how much you mean to them. Most importantly, let somebody know how much they mean to you today. And thanks for listening. I never say that, but I should. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far in the video, put your favorite summer emojis in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya! And for anybody that needs to hear it, any one person out there, or 20, or 100 of you out there that might need to hear this, one more I love you. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!